Hello everyone, it's Steve Passanelli with Tech Savvy Agent. I wanted to go over a very exciting app that I absolutely love and I use all the time called Snapseed. When I go around and I give my classes for real estate agents around the country, it really surprises me how few agents are actually editing their photos before they put them up on the MLS or place them online. And so a lot of times it comes down to not having the right software or not knowing how to use it. So we're going to kill two birds with one stone. I'm going to show you a piece of software that is $5 or less because a lot of times it's on special, and it's extremely easy to use because it actually makes all the color adjustments and masks everything for you automatically. And again, it's called Snapseed. Before you get Snapseed, since we're going PC-less here, if you have an iPad, you want to get the camera connector kit, which if I scroll that down a bit, you could see that it ranges anywhere, I see from $20 to $30, online, and that will allow you to plug your camera right into your iPad, download the photos quickly and easily, or you could just use Dropbox, but then you'd be using a PC, but you can throw your photos in a Dropbox and it will appear on your iPad as well. Android, it's easy to get the photos on there, so you're good to go. So let me give you the quick run through and how I think that you could instantly improve your photos literally in just a few minutes using just a tablet. I'm going to go into my photography apps here. I have the new iPhoto for the iPad as well. I still like Snapseed better. iPhoto does offer a little bit more flexibility, but it is definitely harder to use, and I like the U-point technology that Snapseed offers, and that's what I'm going to show you how to use here in a moment. So let me select Snapseed. It's going to load my application, and it's going to give me a bunch of different options here for editing my photos. Now, a lot of these are creative effects that you're not going to use for real estate, but I would say there's two here that are really important, and that's the selective adjust as well as the tune image, and perhaps the cropping as well. Now, these are three important tools that I'm going to show you how to use. So if I go into the Open Image button, I'll go into my photo library, and I have a not so good picture here that I'm going to select. So this picture, I wouldn't even say it's a decent picture. I'd say it's a pretty bad picture, but we're going to try to enhance this to make it look a little bit better. The sun was taking on the opposite side, or the sun was on the opposite side of the house when the picture was taken. That's lending to some shadows. And if we were to simply use an automatic autocorrect tool, like most software programs offer, it's not going to give us or yield us a good result. So I hit that button, and notice how everything got darker. Even the shadow got much darker there. I want to selectively adjust, and that's what Snapseed allows me to do so well. So let me back up a step by hitting the bottom, and I'm going to go to the selective adjust tool. I'll tap it, and then you just use the little add button that you see on the lower part of the screen. If I hit that add button and I highlight an area of green, watch what happens. You see how the circle, I can move this larger or make this larger or smaller with my fingers by pinching and zooming. And it works by tonality or color range. So if I select something that's green, it's only going to affect the greens and not affect the driveway. So by moving my finger up and down, I can adjust the brightness or contrast, and I can make that a little bit darker so the greens pop out a little bit more. We'll add a little bit of contrast. Saturation's already good, so I'm not going to mess with that. I can do the same thing on the other side over here, and I can choose that green color. Notice how it's only selecting the options, in the grass and in the bush there. A little bit on the house, but it's so fine that you won't be able to see that. And again, I'm going to reduce the brightness a bit, make the green pop out a little bit more, and we're good to go there. Also want to do something with the sky. Very easy to do. Again, I just highlight the sky. It shows me what's going to be affected here, and if I reduce the brightness, you see how the sky actually gets a little bit bluer because it was fairly white, and that's not what we want. We can see the effects that the contrast has, so we can add a little bit more contrast there, and if we want, we can do some saturation. I'm going a little bit over the top just so you can see it on the screen, but here's something even more important than that. So we're making the sky bluer, we're making the grass a little bit greener, but the home really isn't popping out yet. I can use that same selective adjust tool, highlight the home, and then we can brighten the home a bit. We want the home to pop out, and when you brighten it, it's going to lose that contrast there. But watch this. Just slide my finger, add a little bit of contrast. It's a little bit too bright, so let's dial that back just a bit. There we go. And we can add some nice contrast there. If you don't like the effect that it has, notice if I move it a little bit, it changes the way that the photo looks. So pretty neat and pretty easy to use just by moving your fingers back and forth. I can adjust this photo even further, and actually I'm going to add a little bit more brightness. I can adjust this photo even further, or I can just hit the apply button on the bottom. The other neat option here is the compare on the lower right hand side. You can see that if I compare this back and forth, the house definitely pops out more. The stone actually looks a little bit newer and cleaner in the photo. We have a nice blue sky, which will hopefully pop out of a lot of the syndication websites that your home's going to be listed on, and we have something that looks a little bit nicer. I'll hit the apply button and we are good to go. The tune image works nice as well. I mean, we made our selective adjustments. This is going to adjust the entire photo, but we can adjust the ambiance. So you can see if we move that like that, it looks a little bit nicer. Brightness, contrast, white balance if we want to add some warmth back into the scene, because nice warm stone there. And that looks pretty good to me. Let's apply. So very simple, easy adjustments that you can make. We can hit the save button right now and save it into our photo library, or bring it back to the computer if we would like. But this is a much better picture. I would actually, let me digress. I wouldn't say this is a much better picture, but this is definitely a better picture than what we originally started with. It only took us a couple of minutes. So this is Snapseed for the iPad or Snapseed for the Android. Definitely recommend you guys check it out. Steve Passanelli with TechSavvy.